The people who seem to get more done than everyone else, they're not working longer hours or running on more caffeine. They've just stopped wasting time on the stuff that doesn't move work forward. Switching apps, re-explaining context, hunting for files, those aren't small inefficiencies. They're hours wasted every week. Superhuman Go gives you those hours back. From the makers of Grammarly, Go is an AI chat that sits inside every tab and tool you already use, always available and ready to help you with what you're working on. Ask it to draft something, summarize a long thread, pull up a file, or prep you for a meeting. Go handles it without you ever leaving the page you're on. This is what it looks like when AI actually fits into your work instead of adding to it. It's like having a teammate whose only job is to help you be better at yours. Go keeps up so you can move forward. With Go working with you, you can show off what you do best. See what Superhuman Go can do at superhuman.com. That's superhuman.com.
Eventbrite marketing strategies, free versus paid events. If you've ever used Eventbrite before, this is going to be a room for you. Hey, Stevie. And we're going to be breaking down it from the ground up. We're going to talk about what the differences are between the free events, the paid events, how they work, how you should be able to get them through, what they mean, and the whole nine. So we're going to really dive deeper into this. And we'll talk about this today for about an hour. And hopefully within the hour, we can capture all the information that we need. And if you have any questions, we can make that a possibility for you to get understanding and leave better than you came in. So thank you for being here. Stevie, what's going on? Hey, happy Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday. How are you?
Hey, happy Taco Tuesday. Yes, I'm doing well. Hope you are. I'm very intrigued by this topic because currently, as we speak, for my business and for my work, I am up here planning events to market them. So that's what I do full time, and that's what I do in my business. So yeah, I'm here for the gems.
Let's go. Let's go. Question: are you doing free events, paid events? Are they hybrid? What are they looking like online, virtual, in person? What's the scope?
All the things, to be honest. For my work, we're doing a fundraiser. It is going to be a grown up book fair, so I'm excited about that. That is going to be in person. For my business, I'm planning a virtual event, like a conference, and that's going to be free for attendees. And later in the year, I'm planning a free in-person event as well locally here in my city.
That's exciting. I love that. And I can't wait to hear all the success stories about that. So thank you for sharing. You are welcome. You're welcome. What's up, Albert, Kimberly, Jasmine, Haroon, Belle, Celeste? Good to see you all in the room. Kimberly, you said, hello, Favour. Hello, Kimberly. I heard about you from another Clubhouse person who said you were an expert in Pinterest. Excited to learn from y'all. Thank you for being here. Yes, Pinterest is a great space. And I do talk about Pinterest a lot. If you'd like to know more information about Pinterest, please click the link above, and that way you can access my newsletter. I talk about it extensively. And if you want to book a call with me so we can actually do this and get it done off Clubhouse and make sure that we can get it on your business, then we can talk about that off the app. But I'm excited that you're here, and I'm excited about the topic we're bringing today. Actually, this topic is because Rocky talked about this. So shout out to Rocky. This is a business and marketing house, and this is Rocky's house. I'm just one of the leaders here. And I remember when we had a room, I asked people, hey, what would we want to talk about? I think it was SEO tools we were talking about last time. And I just said, hey guys, what do you guys want to talk about? And Rocky said Eventbrite. So I said, okay, I'm gonna bring that Eventbrite topic again, because I've talked about this before. The last time I talked about Eventbrite extensively was in January, and I was like, okay, we're in June now. A lot of things have changed. I remember when I talked about the founder of Eventbrite, when she talked about it on LinkedIn, how things were changing and they were switching hands, gears, and companies were being acquired. And I talked about all those things. So I said, okay, how about I talk about free versus paid events, because you're either going to be on the receiving end or the giving end. Either you're the one giving out the tickets or you're the one receiving the tickets. So we're going to talk about these things today and make sure we can break it down. So I'm excited that you guys are here with us today. What's up, Celeste? What's up, Maria? How y'all doing? Good morning.
Good morning. Sorry, I was on another screen. Oh my gosh, I feel like it's been, allergy season. I feel like it's been a couple weeks, maybe, Favour. I've been busy. How have you been?
I've been good. I've been off the app a little bit, just getting things together. And I was like, I haven't done a room in a while. So it'll be good to come here and, connect when we have the time to. So a lot of good things are happening on the back end. So I'm excited about that. So I'm glad to see you here as well, Celeste. Maria.
Yay.
Yeah. How are you? How are you doing, Maria?
Great, Favour. Thanks for having me. How are you doing? Gloria's here too. We're here. Maria and Gloria, we come together. I'm doing well. I also have been taking a little time to go sort of internal, and I've been realizing that all my skills with AI, with what I'm building, all these different websites and stuff, maybe I should have somebody pay me for this. That's what I've been up to. Thinking and applying to how can I apply my skills to a job that'll instead of just my business, because I want a little bit of like reliable income that I don't have to market for. So that's where my mindset's at, where I've been, thinking of myself differently a little bit.
I love that. I do. Honestly, when I think about what you say, Maria, the first thing that comes to my mind is podcasting, where it is low effort, high impact. And if you're thinking about it corporately, that's a whole different conversation. But when I look at it extensively from what you're doing, then that could be a really good place you could venture into, which would really yield a lot, especially in your niche for homeschool. A lot of people don't talk about it much, even though there are topics about it or around it. But if you're able to really scale it from a vertical of your standpoint and your authorship and the readership of the people, you can definitely get a lot within that space. So that's just me thinking out loud for you.
Favour, one of the things that I did was created a bot, an agent that helped me out to create podcast episodes from Telegram that I could easily just upload them straight into Telegram, and from Telegram into what is it? Excuse me, just a second, Gloria. Spotify Creator. And so I have the pipeline to make this happen, and I've already got 10 episodes out, and they're really janky, and I obviously need to take it a little bit more seriously because I can hear Gloria or fans in the background. But I'm proud to say that I've already started I'm on the track to do that. So I will keep this in mind. Thank you.
You are welcome. The best thing about it is that you've started. Starting is the first thing, and most times we have to start from our mind before we can start with our hands. So I'm glad that you're taking that initiative and it's working out. So I'm glad to see that. What's up, Rocky? Glad to see you here. Rocky may not be able to speak, but if you are, please feel free. This is your space. This is your house, and house rules, Rocky's rules. So thank you for being here as well. And good to see you as well, Jasmine, Javanka, Karen. And if you guys got a pink ticket and you're in this room, please make sure you click at the very top that says business and marketing so you can be a part of this house. We are growing consistently. We're about 18,723 members. So it's growing every single day. So I'm glad that you guys are here today to spend time with us. And shout out to Rocky, because I was mentioning earlier, Rocky, before you came in, that this room is for you, because we talked about Eventbrite at the end when you wanted that to be one of the discussions we could have after the room that we had. I think it was last week. So I said, yeah, I'm going to turn this topic into a whole discussion in a room that we can actually talk about and make this happen. So for y'all who are in the chat, if you're on stage as well, we'd love to hear from you. But if you're in the chat as well and you can type, let me know which event would you go for first if you saw it on Eventbrite, a free event or a paid event. So just write free in the chat or write paid in the chat. And then on stage, we'd love to hear from Stevie, Celeste, Maria. Why would you choose the one that you chose?
For me, it would be free, because unless I know the person, I just happen to come upon their event, but typically free.
Okay. Celeste, what about you?
you know, always have to be complicated. I'd say it really depends. I am good paying for an event if I find like, you know, the value's there. Like, for example, you know, I went to a paid event through Eventbrite actually. It was a networking event, and it was by a really like prestigious women-led organization here. So it's like, you know, pay. They had a good speaker. You know, it was good vibes. Very well worth the money. Sometimes free means low value, in my opinion. I'm really big on like, you know, I'll pay if you know it's gonna be a good situation for my money. So I'll go with that.
I agree too. And it doesn't mean free is bad. I just feel like free is unfiltered because you don't really know what's going to happen until you do a post survey or you do something in the room or you do something within the agenda to understand what's going on, or you can read the room after things are happening. So I would look at it like this. If I was to put $1 in this event, that you have to put your credit card or debit card on file for you to have access to this event, and it's just $1 or 99 cents, it tells the big difference between somebody who's actually going to commit to that than somebody who's not going to commit to that. If I say, here's a paid trial for $1 or here's a free trial for $0, most people will go for the free. But if I put $1 on it and I know that this dollar is you can't even buy you gas, can't buy you coffee, can't buy you snacks, you can't buy you anything. But this dollar means so much to me that you actually took time to spend on committing to this product or committing to this next step. And that to me says a lot about your intentionalities and how serious you take your time. But that doesn't mean if you get it for free, it's a waste of time. It's just that it's not on your priority list, or it's not really at the top of the priority list because it's something you can do at your leisure. So I love that you mentioned that, Celeste. Maria, you said paid. Why?
I feel like I'd only be on Eventbrite looking for something paid. Like looking for something specific, niche. Like I don't know. And I don't really look for free places. Otherwise, if it was like referred, somebody said, come with me.
This got me thinking. I have two other questions to ask, but this one came second. So I want to ask this because this just sparked right now. If we had a Clubhouse room and it was a paid room, would you join it? Like you had to pay. I don't know if Clubhouse will ever do this, but you have to actually pay or use your coins to have access to a room.
I would love to, but yeah, I'd love to. I think that is a great concept.
That's why, Celeste. You said you're gonna pay for the event, but not on Clubhouse. So what's the same difference? No.
Listen, I have been on Clubhouse when you remember when people used to sell memberships to Clubhouse? Like, oh, because you had to get an invite. I've been on here since then. I have never paid for a Clubhouse room. So it's just like the culture of Clubhouse, it's free. So I just couldn't see myself paying for it when it's like, I've been on here with real celebrities and they didn't charge. So you about to try to charge me?
I remember those days, Tiffany Haddish, Wale, Elon Musk. It was like a whole thing going on. This was back in 2020, yeah. So being on here for 6 years, I know what you mean. It's like, I guess, why would I pay for an event when I've been here for free? And it's that conditioning of, okay, the psychology has been set, the culture has been set, the room has been set, the thermostat has been set, and nothing is going to change. And that's fine. And I feel like if Clubhouse has different tiers, or you have more exclusive things or video or something that's going to add more value, then maybe. But majority of the people would just not. They would rather not, because they just want to come in, listen, leave quietly, and there's no commitments, there's no attachments, there's no strings attached, and we'll go about our day. So I definitely know what you mean.
Or can I throw a little wrench in? I just thought about it because Rocky, I saw her comment in the chat. So I think the caveat would be, if someone did pay for a Clubhouse room, it would have to be something so juicy, like something I never heard before. And then I'd be like, okay, I might pay. But I don't know what that would be. I'm having a hard time like grasping the concept.
If I was to do this is me thinking out loud, and Clubhouse, if you're hearing this, take it. But if it happened, you know where you heard it first. If this is what I'm thinking, imagine if with these coins we have, you can decide to choose monthly or yearly or daily or weekly, however you want to choose, subscriptions that you pay through coins, so that you now decentralize the whole movement of money and everything. And those coins are now accumulated, where if you have 1,000 members in your house and they're paying a subscription of 20 coins, per month, that may not look like a lot, but when you now add it up times the number of people, that could add up. But that's just me thinking, wishful thinking here. But I'm not the owner of Clubhouse. But if I was to do something like that in a way where I can actually turn it into a TikTok/Clubhouse creator economy kind of situation, then that would be something that I would like to do, because people will actually want to be part of the conversation and actually be part of the agenda and not just be there. So that means if somebody's actually paying for that room or paying for that house to be accessed to, then that subscription is going to keep them coming back because they're getting the value. And yeah, Stevie, you said, I think it depends on the space and the value. So that makes sense 100%. What do you think, Stevie?
I definitely pay for some places on TikTok where I get information. So I'm not sure what would be the difference on this app versus that app. Or like I can see it as far as Facebook. I don't know that I would pay for subscription on Facebook. But so I'm trying to ruminate this in my mind. But I think that for me, I would rather pay for social media than pay for Eventbrite, because I think it starts with, like, if I come in this room and I hear you or hear someone else and I want to subscribe to you, then there's a way to do it. It starts with free. I didn't just come in here and put on my card to this app before hearing a word you said. So I think that when it comes to Eventbrite hosting, I don't think I ever put a paid event on Eventbrite myself personally, but I put hundreds of free events on Eventbrite. And the reason being is because I know that people who don't know me could know the event and want to come, and then I could sell to them once they get into the doors of my event.
I love that. You got me thinking about this. The most underrated section on Eventbrite for creators is the Eventbrite profile page. Because when you use that profile page and that page is under your business name or under your creator name, and you've attached your links and you've had your descriptions filled, and someone is looking for an event to go to, they're also going to look at the author. They're also going to look at the event organizer. They're looking at the event host. It's like going to an Airbnb or going to a place where you want to spend some time, and you have to look at the things. You're like, okay, do I like this host? Do I like the reviews? Do I like the place? Is the space safe? Is the price right? You got to do a lot of thinking before you come to that informed decision executively. So when I look at it from Eventbrite, people may have events, but their profile is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the name of their profile. So someone's going to be like, I don't know if this person is real or not, if this event is happening or not. But when you have a name like that and you put your name, or if it's your business name, and they now search for that name on LinkedIn, or they search for it on Google, or they search for your website, or they search for something that is related to your page on Eventbrite, then that gets them to be more certain about the event itself. So it makes you also get that sale, whether it's a free ticket or a paid ticket. That way it's easy for people to also interact with you because they know who they're actually going to spend time with. Think about it. Clubhouse, you can hear my voice. We can hear each other's voices. On Eventbrite, there's no voice you're hearing unless they put a video on YouTube for you to watch, or you have to click on an episode they were featured on, or you have to go do your research and find them on social media, which will spend more time than you actually I would say, managed or put together within this, let's say, 15 minutes of spare time you have in the hour. So for someone to take that executive decision to say, I'm going to join, they also have to think about, is it local? Is it regional? Is it national? Is it international? Is it online? Is it in person? Do I have to drive? Do I have to park? Do I have to take a ride? Do I have to shuttle? There's a lot of things people are thinking about before they click register. And sometimes we miss those gaps because we don't take those things into consideration. So I would love to hear from y'all as well. What are your thoughts on that when you think about that from a receiving end or even from a giving end?
I think about my brand, the homeschool admin, and how, oh my goodness, of course, sorry, excuse me, how if I were to put my homeschooling meetups that we're going to be doing each Thursday, on Eventbrite, that it would be with like the brand behind that profile page would probably bring a lot of interest through that channel. That's what I'm thinking of right now.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Stevie, Celeste? What are y'all thinking?
You're asking, do I count up the costs basically to events before I go? What's the direct question? I'm
Yes.
sorry. I don't know. I think if it's something that I want to go to, it doesn't matter, to be honest, what the costs are. I don't know that I do that deep introspection. Just like I'm going downtown in my city for dinner on Thursday. It's a restaurant that I want to go to because unfortunately they're closing very soon. Fortunately for their family, raise their kids, but I'm going and I haven't really thought about the cost of getting there as far as like my car, parking my car, all the things. I just know I want to go. So for me, if I want to go to a place, whether it be a free place or paid place, however, I will make sure that I have the cost. So I don't think that really plays a point in my mind when I'm going to see the event I want to go to.
Okay, that makes sense. Rocky says, and I'm gonna run through this as well because Rocky said a lot too. Rocky said paid because I know it will be worth it, and if it's going to be worth it, definitely she said we're going to be charging in here. Paid house, get ready for it. And also, if it's paid events only, then it makes sense because if you're able to do them in a way that you know, okay, if I'm going to do a paid event or a free event, where's my time involved? What can I do with my time? Even Kimberly asks, how would it work if you exit the room and come back in? Do you get charged again? I wouldn't even think you get charged for coming into the room. I think you get charged for coming into the house. So it's like you have the keys to the house. You can always go to the kitchen. You can always go to the walk-in closet. You can always go somewhere within the house, but you could be in the living room and then you can come back again. So I'm thinking about house, not room, because the room could get boomed or something could happen. The app could glitch and now you got to pay twice for a glitch you didn't expect. That would actually be a disservice. So I think the better way would just be to price it and put it into the house so that you can just pay for the rooms or pay for something extra if you have something that's additional. But the house itself, everything under the house is under one roof, kind of, sort of. So that's what I would look at it like that. So would that be more like a subscription? Yeah. If that's what happens on Clubhouse, it doesn't happen currently. It's not really a real thing. But hypothetically speaking, if that was to be a thing, then it would be a really good thing for people as well to, connect as well. So when I think about Eventbrite, when I think about all these things, these are the things to keep in mind. And the room today is called strategies, right? So if you're writing this down, just do this. I've done it and I'm going to tell you what I did and you can try it because you may get a different result. So don't hear what I'm saying and say, oh yeah, that's it. Or that's not it. It depends on what you do, your business, your industry, your setup, your operations. So this is just hypothetically put for you, but in a way that you can actually use as a point of reference that I've actually done for myself. So if you have events on Eventbrite, the first strategy, if you want to write this down, is a 4-letter word: time. T-I-M-E. Time. Why? Because when somebody is coming to your event, they are paying for the time they're spending with you. You could have the same event on 2 different days. One event could be 1 hour longer than the other. Another one could be 30 minutes longer than the other. And that's going to change the mood, the feel, the agenda, the whole experience of that event. So time is going to be your best friend when it comes to free versus paid. So this is what you can do. This is what I've done. You can create a poll within your community and ask them how much time can they spend or would they like to spend at an event. You can do this on LinkedIn. I did this on LinkedIn and I was really surprised because I always do polls on LinkedIn and also within the email. If you click the link above, you'll also get the email and see that too. And I asked this question, would you rather have either one of these 4 options? 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, or 120 minutes. When you split the time into 4 different segments, that's going to allow you to know how much time someone's going to spend and how much money they're also going to spend. If they're going to spend 2 hours with you and they're paying X amount of dollars, and someone else is not paying X amount of dollars because it's a 30-minute event, because it's free, then it's also going to play a big role in how it goes down the list. Now, when you also sign up, this is something that if you've never tried or if you've never experienced, you might experience this. So if you don't want to experience this, then at least learn from this now. If you create an Eventbrite account and your Eventbrite starts off with your business name, or starts off with any type of name or your name at gmail.com or at any other ESP, email service provider, that is not within a workspace, then it will be hard for you to extract contacts from Eventbrite. So this is what you need to do. This is a pro tip. Sign up with Eventbrite or sign up on Eventbrite with a business account, with a business email, so that when you now start getting leads from those events, whether free or paid, you can export them to a CSV file, and you can also move them over to your CRM. Your comma separated value file, which is your CSV file, your customer relationship management tool, which is your CRM file or your CRM platform. So when you have this easy process between uploading, downloading, or automatically sequencing or integrating, however you want to do it, whatever your setup looks like, you can now use this as a way to also get leads, because the leads that you're qualifying are based on the things that you do. So time is going to be of the essence. Now, why am I bringing time into this? Because the second point I want to make for a strategy is your URL. This is the most, I would say, close to the top 5 underrated sources on Eventbrite is your URL. Because it's the same SEO concept. I always talk about this SEO wise. If someone's going to be asking Siri or asking ChatGPT or asking Alexa or asking Google or asking whoever or whatever search bar they're looking at, when they say, hey, I'm looking for an event that's a workshop that's going to focus on journals, and we're going to trying to spend about 2 hours, and I want an event that's paid, that's within $2 signs. So that's from $10 to $99. Those are $2 signs. So when you ever go to restaurants and you're looking at restaurants, you see $2 signs, $3 signs, it tells you how much you would potentially be paying per person or per plate or per serving. So when you now look at that and you've asked whichever bot about an event, and you have an event on your Eventbrite account, and in the URL is stemming from the title. So a lot of people put titles on their events and name them whatever they name them. But this is where SEO comes in. And you can't just put anything, because when you put those links and you put those names on Eventbrite as titles, that's what people are going to be searching you with. If it's location based, even better. Because now someone's going to be searching in your area for a 30-minute workshop or a 2-hour workshop, and you have exactly those words in your URL and your title, because now it's showing up locally. When that happens, it also allows your Eventbrite page to be seen more, because you're being more specific and meticulous with your delivery, as opposed to just saying, this is a camping event, all ages are welcome. Like it's just going to be very broad, and you may not really get the right results in. But if you're talking about homeschooling for parents within this county or this area, 2 minutes or 3 hours or whatever you want to call it, and you're putting those words specifically on how people are searching for things. If I want to go to a sports event, or I want to play soccer, or I want to, learn how to make candles. Like I just learned recently how to make perfume. I was in a 2-hour workshop, and it was a paid workshop on how to actually make a perfume, and even how the word cologne is not actually cologne. Cologne does not mean it's a man's word. Cologne came from Germany, Cologne, Germany, and there's a story behind it. So I learned so much from 2 hours of making a perfume, from the base to the top, and also understanding the history of how perfumes actually came to be, because I love to smell good and I love good perfumes. I love good cologne. So me doing that 2-hour workshop is because I knew that it was going to be 2 hours from the time I purchased that event. And this is an in-person event. So if you have an event and you want people to come for the event and they're interested in something, then they're going to be looking for, hey, I'm on Google looking for how to make perfumes. So if that event is not showing me that result, it's hard for me to find out or even match you because you're not giving me what I'm asking for or asking the bots. So when you start looking at it from that perspective, it changes everything, whether it's a free event or a paid event. You want to make sure you have free-event or paid-event. You don't have to have it all the time, but have it in a place that if someone is reading it, if it's in brackets, if it's in parentheses, whatever you want to put it in, it's going to be at least explicitly available for someone to make a decision so they know that they're actually getting a free service or a paid service. And either one of those two would depend on how you're able to interact with them based on the different things there. Even on Eventbrite, if you add FAQs to your Eventbrite, they even say it, that increases your conversion lift by at least 8%. You get more visibility within an 8% range. That's a lot. Because if you have FAQs in your event and people are reading, is this event free or is it paid? Is it subscription? Is this annual? Is it weekly? Before you know it, you're answering the questions people are thinking. So you get more signups because you're actually answering more questions instead of giving them more questions to think about. So I'd love to hear from you guys as well, what you think as well on this. And I'll come to you, Kimberly, as well. What you think, Stevie, Celeste? What's coming to your mind?
I think this was very super helpful because I know that I typically haven't thought in this way to think about like even the email, even the where to place the words and all the things. And so I do use the FAQ because I think that's important. And I myself, as an event goer, go to the FAQ to learn more about the event. So this is very helpful. Thank you.
You are welcome. Celeste, what would you say in regards to even keywords and discoverability for events and businesses?
I can't remember. It was so long ago, but I remember we used to have business 101 question Q&A rooms, and they get really big. And somebody was asking, they were doing concerts and stuff, and they were like, oh, I need marketing advice. And I'll never forget, she circled back because what I do, I go on the back end and do SEO analysis and look up analytics, and Eventbrite kept popping up when we were looking for concerts in her area. Eventbrite, like they do really good when it comes to Google organic search results. And sure enough, she started putting herself on Eventbrite. And I forgot what was the other one or some other thing she did based on, people who were already ranking. Hint, hint, y'all. And sure enough, she circled back and she's like, yeah, it worked. Like we saw an increase in our ticket sales. So, and I wish I could remember her actual name. It was so long ago, but I love when people, because Favour, we give hundreds of tips out on here, and it's interesting to know people who actually apply it and come back and tell us like, oh, it worked. Like I really, really appreciate that feedback. So moral of the story is, yes, I'm sure if you go right now and look up business events in my area, music events in my area, Eventbrite may pop up. So just kind of lean into strategies that are already working is what I would suggest. And this is definitely one of them. So appreciate all the tips, Favour.
Thank you, Celeste. You brought a really good point, and it made me even do a little deep dive because I've talked about this, but I was like, you know what, let me bring this in a little bit just so that you can see a 30,000 viewpoint. I put a link in the chat. That link is from SEMrush, and it shows the eventbrite.com overview as far as what they actually have in terms of traffic. And this is the latest result, and they are ranked globally, worldwide. Let me just say this first. There are 1.1 billion websites in the world. So Eventbrite sits globally at 780. That is high, right? In the country, in the US, they're ranked 257. They get about 48.15 million visits a month. So we're talking about traffic, we're talking about people, we're talking about events, we're talking about payments, free or paid, we're talking about processes. So we're technically connecting with 50 million people that actively spend time on Eventbrite. And they spend about, if you scroll down that list, you'll see they spend about 2.85 pages per visit. So that means they're spending at least 2 pages. So what that means is if I like an event, I click RSVP or I click buy event, and then the next event or the next page is going to be making my payment. If you notice at the top of your Eventbrite page, you're going to see a countdown timer. This happens at hotels, this happens with airlines, this happens with events, and I think it's about 15 minutes or so. So if you're looking at the average visit duration spent, it's on average, they say it's 7 minutes 45 seconds. So that's close to half of the time, because they're spending at least, let's say, 2 to 3 minutes per page if they're spending 2 pages on average. And if they're spending amounts on those pages to do those things and you have 15 minutes as a countdown timer, then that's technically almost half or close to that, or just within that range. So when you look at it from different varieties, you realize that there are 50 million people who are on Eventbrite who spend an average of less than 10 minutes a day, and they spend at least 2 to 3 pages within their spend, which has a bounce rate of 62%, which is really good, because the average, I can say the best range is between 30 to 40%. So if you're below 30%, that's really good. It's kind of like saying you have a payment history or your credit score or your payment. I would say, like, let's say if you pay all your balances back and you have, let's say, 1%, or you have 6%, or you have 30% within your balance, the higher the percent, we know this, it's worse when it's higher, but the lower it is, the better. So when you think about bounce rate, think about the same thing. If your bounce rate is lower on your website, it means more people are spending time on your website. If you have a lower, let's say, point when it comes to percentage wise, when you're now, let's say, having things to do with getting payments through or getting balances cleared, and it's at a lower percent, that means you're spending money well, right? So if you're spending money well with a low percentage, and you're spending time well, or your users are spending time well with a low bounce rate, that means that your website gains more signals, which increases the trust overall. So you see where I'm going with this? Everything is interconnected. So the trust gets for you, if you have with credit cards, is to say, okay, here's more, because you're able to use the little you have to create more space, and then it gets more and more and more compounds. The same thing with your bounce rates. When you create more and more content, people find it and they're like, oh yeah, we want to stay here because we like this event, we want to come back, or what's happening this week. If you look to the left side of Eventbrite, it shows you different filters. It tells you this week, this month, this year. So you can even filter your results based on the time of the month or the month of the year. So by the time you have looked through each and every one of the options, you know, okay, if I have events once a month or once a week or once a quarter or once a year, then there's a 369 method or a 369 policy I usually like to go through. It's either 3 weeks out, 6 weeks out, or 9 weeks out. If you have an event that is going to be paid, I would highly advise you do 9 weeks out. If it's free, you could 3 weeks out is fine, it's fair, but 9 weeks out will always get you there, and 6 weeks is kind of pushing it, but it's either hit or miss. But 9 weeks will always get you in that right space. Why? Because I'm not just looking at when your event goes live, because whenever you create an event on Eventbrite, we've seen this with clients. When we create events for them, they sell out paid, sell out free, and I've seen it countless times in different industries, because I understand and I know that the reason why these things are happening is not by surprise, it's because it's by strategy. So everything matters, from your account profile down to the links. Even if you put videos on your Eventbrite, those things play along. And if that video is 3 minutes long or 30 seconds long, that's also going to determine how much time they spend. Think about this, guys. They're spending 7 minutes on average. And if you have a 10-minute video that they have to watch on YouTube, on Eventbrite, you're spending more time for them that they could have saved with you. Just think about that. Because if you saved their time retrospectively, and you said, okay, here's a 30-second video, and I know that I'm going to spend less than 7 minutes actively on one page trying to get one event checked out, then it means I need to spend my time to come here, because I may look at your event and say, okay, event 1, event 2, event 3, event 4 are all looking good, because I've put 9 weeks out and I know I have a calendar and I know, okay, we're in June now. So if I have 3 more events in the year, I should not be putting my events 2 weeks to the event and hoping or wishing on a horse or a star that something's going to happen. We're going to get sales or going to get bookings, because what's happening is on Eventbrite, as soon as it's published, that link in itself becomes indexed within eventbrite.com. That's the first thing. So when I think SEO terms, I'm not just thinking, oh, this event goes live. Because if you switch the title, if you start switching all these things, you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't know this, I didn't know that. You start panicking, you start changing things. It's going to have a whole shift. It's like when you do learning phases on ads, when you're running ads, you don't just run ads in the learning phase and then midpoint, you switch everything because it's not done learning. So it's going to relearn, and that's going to take more time. So if you're thinking about how much time it takes for it to even settle and scale, we have to consider those times too. So if you think about Eventbrite and you put it out the first time, that's about 24 hours. Now you have 9 weeks out, you have 24 hours, it's just gone up. People in your city have not seen it before because there are events prior to yours that have gained more access or gained more potential traffic, but now you're just coming up with your events. Now, if you put tags in your events and that leads to those local responses, somebody goes to Eventbrite or goes to ChatGPT and say, hey, I'm looking for events near me that do A, B, C, D. And now you have all those things listed on your event. Why will you not be the reason why they show up? And why will you not be the first respondent? It's just that we miss these different attributes because they look like they're small, but little things go a long way. So I wanted to just make sure I can clarify that. Aileen, we'd love to hear from you. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. So I host events and workshops, and I primarily use a different calendar, Luma, for that. But lately, and I'm taking this room as a sign that I need to do this today, ideally, but lately I've been thinking about having also another profile on Eventbrite, because while Luma is good for certain aspects, Eventbrite is the original virtual event ticket provider, right? So their reach is probably larger, which you've mentioned. But I'm curious if I wouldn't have subscribers on all of my subscribers are on Luma. So I'd love to hear if you have any tips in general as to, would a strategy be to like tell some people, hey, if your choice is, Eventbrite, go ahead and now subscribe to my calendar on Eventbrite? Or do you think that the organic reach is pretty strong there, where eventually I'll build, my own following on Eventbrite and still keep my Luma calendar? So I would love to hear any thoughts on that.
Great
Can I just
question.
ask
Go ahead.
I just want to ask a quick follow-up, and then you can chime in. What kind of events do you host, Aline?
Yeah, so they range from fun and fun topics like stepping into your villain era in like a comic book style virtual setting, to AI and business strategy. So like turning your speaker bio into a speaker highlights website with AI. Or, to actually, one of my upcoming events is helping people turn their virtual event idea into reality, into an invite ready status. So they range. I'm pretty creative. So if it comes to life, I go ahead and do it.
Okay, let me rephrase the question, because I'm still like, if someone was looking for an event and, based on what you do, and they didn't know who you were, what would they type in to find you or find an event?
So I would say right now would be AI probably focused topics. So they might type in like AI workshops, I think is what would come up. Right now I have my own audience, if you will, and they know my virtual event style. So, but I'm looking to extend the reach.
Perfect. Okay, go ahead, Favour, and then I'll chime in after.
Great questions. And I want to also give you some context because I love Luma as well, Aileen. Luma is beautiful for exclusivity, for just taking it out of the space and using it to connect to people. Definitely. I've used Luma and I love it. Even the aesthetic of the page, how it works, it's fluent, it's very seamless, and it's a good place. I actually would love to do a room on Eventbrite versus Luma now that you've mentioned this, if that's okay. And I'd love to, break it down even further because I've seen it on different sides. Now, when I look at it from the technical SEO AI overview visibility standpoint, and you look at the chat, in the chat, I put a link, and that link is going to take you to Luma, but it's basically going to be taking you to SEMrush. So with Luma, before it used to be lu.ma when they first started, now it's luma.com, just to make it easier for people to type. Now, when you look at their results, you can see that on Luma, we have less than 15 million visits, but they have more pages per visit because Eventbrite.com had 2 pages per visit. Luma has 3. So Luma has 3 because of the different things. If you have to add to your Apple Wallet, or if you have to, pay with your Apple Card, you can do a lot of things differently there, and has also a different standpoint. So when I look at it from the reality of how Luma works, yes, it's good for discoverability, but it's definitely not going to be like Eventbrite. But when it comes to engagement and connections, great. Because if you have Eventbrite, and Eventbrite is where you have your contacts or where you have your events from, then people that are on Eventbrite can be able to get it there. It's kind of like right now, especially with FIFA World Cup coming up now, starting off this week, you can see that people are getting event tickets from different sites, right? If your favorite artist is coming to town, if let's say there's a Chris Brown and Usher concert coming, and you've gone to a completely different site, or maybe a Ticketmaster or some other site to get the tickets, and you're getting those tickets from those sites, is because that's where you frequently buy tickets from. And most times when people are buying tickets, they create a profile, they create accounts. So if you're creating an account on Eventbrite to book an Eventbrite ticket, then people on Luma may not necessarily have to create an event or create a profile to access that. So there's a few differences there. With Eventbrite, you can just continue as a guest, and you don't have to sign in, you don't have to sign on. So it's different because of those different access points. Now, when I look at it from the perspective of bringing those two together, that's where it now plays a big role in what you want to see long term. Because when you look at their direct competitors, majorly there's Google, there's LinkedIn, there's Instagram, there's X, and there's YouTube. And this is actually Luma.com's website traffic journey. So people come from Google, they come from LinkedIn, they come from Instagram, they come from X, they come from YouTube. And when you now see where they're coming from, it also says a lot about what creates that demand. Because even on Eventbrite, after the event is done on Eventbrite, that Eventbrite link is still active. It's going to tell you this event has ended. If this event ended 3 years ago, 5 years ago, it's still going to be active. Because I can only imagine Eventbrite having to close or de-index pages that are not active. That's a lot. So they're building on those pages, more or less archive pages, but they're active and they're respondent, because if you have an account profile, it shows that you have events that ended and you have events that are about to start. So when you now use Luma is where you can bridge them together, because if you have Eventbrite, then you have to sign up as a business account with a business email to now have access to those pointers where you can actually export the CSV file back into your CRM, because you're doing the same thing too with Luma. With Luma, you have the same thing too. If you have your event and somebody's signing up, they're signing up with their contact information. So either way, you're going to have to still bring them over into it, but it's how you set it up and how you want the user journey to be that makes the best foot forward, if I put it like that as well. So we'd love to hear from you, Alien, and then come to you, Landstronaut, too.
No, I definitely appreciate those shares, and I'll have to put some more thought into it, because I do like the flow of Luma, and that I have a whole, process already set up, and that makes it comfortable to post. I was thinking more of just having Eventbrite from a more of a organic reach, ideally, perspective, and maybe new people would be drawn to it, and maybe occasional networking, I'll drop that link instead of my Luma link. But yeah, you've given me a lot to think about, and you're right. I can also import my existing subscribers on Luma and my email list. So I have to think about it. But thank you for this room. I kid you not. I've been sitting on needing to create my business profile for over a week, and I'm taking this as a sign to just do it. The mic's back over to y'all.
Thank you, Aileen. Appreciate you. Yeah, I'm glad that this is helping out and we're getting clarity and we're getting this done better, because that's what we want. We want better events. We want to find better events. As a user, as a consumer, I want to find better events. I don't want to be looking for events I can't find, and I'm struggling to find an event that I could actually get, but it's not been done in the right way because the person that placed it didn't do it correctly. So you're 100% correct on that. Thank you, Aileen. Last not, passing it over to you. Was good.
What's up? Okay, so I tried to do an Eventbrite globally for the conference that you knew about. It didn't really work well, and I also had the event thing inside of my website, which was very difficult because then I would have had to convert the website into an app to take full advantage of the website features. And then when it came to Luma wasn't very popular. It was just coming. But what I do see is that people that post like hubs and stuff like that and meetups, Luma is very advantageous, but they did not have the crossover conversion between older version of iOS to Samsung's or Android phone. They sucked really bad. I don't know if they figured out the configurations thus far, but I know they had a rough time. And then making sure that the event is it's kind of difficult too, tracking the Luma with, or was the event downloaded where I have my access pin, or did they send a confirmation email for me to save in my phone? So I spend more time at the event trying to figure out the fact that I registered for the ticket and I actually have the ticket and going into my email versus, the downloadable link that's sent to my phone that can go into my wallet from Eventbrite. That's the biggest thing that I see as a consumer. And then Eventbrite also, like, people will dub your topic and dub your page. For some reason, Luma may be a little bit more secure just because a lot of people maybe don't use it as much. But there's a lot of people who create fake Eventbrite pages that look identical to other people's, and they pay for the event and stuff like that. They show the ticket, they show that they pay for the event, just the wrong host. So you would have had to have a really good branding for Eventbrite so that people won't get bamboozled. So that's what I see. But also the Luma events, I only use Luma. I know that I'm not really paying for the event a lot of times, even though they do have a payment acceptance. But I don't know that's like on the user end. But for the event owner end, I don't know just how difficult it is to set up. I remember I tried it like one time, and then I got stuck at the advertising part, the email pushes and all that other stuff. But Eventbrite could get very freaking complicated to the point where, like, you spend all this time and you're trying to figure out where to go, and the business site is different from the consumer site, and then you're trying to see what's on the consumer site, so you gotta like almost log into a different browser to see if you're getting the same thing, because they'll tell you just like you can switch it between the person on the back end versus the people on the front end, but it still doesn't convert properly to see what everybody sees. It's just annoying, at least from the last time that I checked Eventbrite, but I don't know what updates they did.
Yeah, Eventbrite could be very tricky on different fronts. And when you talked about the profiles, that was really painful because somebody has spent so much time to find the event and it was done, but it was counterfeit and it's not right. So I also think too, when somebody's choosing an event or excited about an event, they also have to look into those details, because someone may have a conference or a movie or something that's going on and you get it from there and it's like, wait, this is what it is. And now it's a whole different discussion. So it's like you have to also think about it from the standpoint of what does it mean for you. And that's why I'm always bringing this back to SEO. I'm always bringing this back to your website. I'm always bringing this back to your brand. That even though you have these Eventbrite links, Luma links, LinkedIn event links, Facebook event links, and they're all over the web, if they're not coming from your website in the beginning, from the beginning, then the scalability of that event being found organically is also going to take a little bit more of some time, because you are creating events that people are aware of or about to be aware of, and they have different options, but there's no position for them to get it from a standpoint where it could come from a central point. So point is, if you create an event on all these platforms and you write a news article on your site that talks about the different places that they could get your event location wise, and you're actually discussing the event, you're putting all the things on the event, then somebody can get that email. You send that email to everyone and say, hey guys, here it is. And if you want to be on Eventbrite, click here, click here, click here. Before you know it, you have different segments in your email. You know exactly who's coming from where, you know what they use, device wise, otherwise. You're able to tell those things because it's coming from your first party data acquisition point of view or vantage point, which is your website. But if you're going to depend on all these other platforms to get analytics, yeah, Eventbrite will tell you the number of page views, but does it give you the unfiltered version? Does it give you the actual results? It may, but it may not give you the full results based on entry page and exit page, which you could have gotten from your website. So I always advocate and always say this: whenever you have an event anywhere, whether it's for an Eventbrite or any other thing you do, focus on creating your events and then bringing them to your website, documenting them, and then sending them back to your email, so that when people actually access it, you're actually showing up online and it shows that you have a track record of success. Even though that event may not have worked, you try again. Not all events are going to be 100% success rate. The ones that are maybe 80%, maybe 99%, but yeah, it can get to 100%, but the goal is not perfection. The goal is impact. So if we're able to do this consistently and know where we're stemming from, it's easier for us to work through that as well. So that was a really good point. Thank you for that, Lanceronaut. And what's up, Rocky? Love to hear from you as well. I know, Celeste, you wanted to add something after Aileen asked, so feel free.
Hi, I'm free. I'm here for lunch. So no, I loved everything you covered. I will say, I think I put it in the chat, I never thought to fix my Eventbrite page for search engine optimization because of the way that Eventbrite is set up. It immediately takes you to create an event. And so until you actually, set the event up, it kind of guides you through it, but you never really think about your profile. But it does remind me that I remember there was a favorite group that I had, went to their event. And then when I went to their event, I didn't see them anymore. So I went to their page, Favour, and then I was able to find all their events again. So that right there is a good point, and I probably need to set that up better for myself. And the next question I have is, because I have a salon, you guys, super excited, just for braids and lashes and nails. So now that I have my salon, is that something that I could probably put on Eventbrite? Can I use that type of thing for services at times? Like if it's a special, if it's like a something event, like maybe, I'm a new cosmetologist, here's, your first sale, a launch sale or something like that. Can you do stuff like that on Eventbrite?
Yeah, you can. You got me thinking about so many different ways we could even put it together. I'm thinking marketplace wise, because I'm looking at it from the standpoint of you having, let's say, pop-ups or meetups or product samples, whatever it is. It could be a brand, it could be with a food truck, it could be with an actual restaurant, it could be by a bookstore, it could be by anything. It could be a marathon. It could be something that you're still bringing back that is actually essential for the brand, so that when people are signing up for it, they know, oh, we're going to have a pop-up here, we're going to try this product, and you've now collaborated with this person, or you're at this event for that reason. So it makes it easier for you to connect with them. That way, if it's, let's say, an online workshop and they're getting that, they know, okay, this is the agenda, this is what they're getting. Because if someone sees an event and they see 2 hours and there's no agenda and it's paid, there are so many friction points they have to go through or walls they have to break down, that it's going to be hard for them to spend that 15 minutes or less than 15 minutes they have with you to make that one decision. So definitely, I would say, yeah, there are ways you can definitely do that and make it also event friendly for them, and also an experience that they can actually have, whether in person or virtually. So yeah, you got me thinking about some ideas for sure, Rocky.
I want to chime in
Yeah,
on
I meant
that.
for
Oh, go ahead, Rocky.
yeah, I meant for cosmetology specifically.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Like,
Yeah.
okay, gotcha.
Okay, so you're done with school and you're officially
Clubhouse room.
Oh my gosh, no, yours I would come to. Like, girl, please. Okay, so did you say that you're now in a salon? Did you say that?
I have a space that I'm booking.
Oh my gosh, congratulations. Okay, and you do braids and other stuff, I'm sure, but
So I'm doing braids and lashes right now. That's what I can do without licensing.
Okay. And then what? You're in Virginia. Okay, I don't know if you care about, online privacy or not. You don't have to say. You could back channel me. What city are you in specifically? I should know this, but
I'm
I
in
don't.
Williamsburg, but it'll be in Newport News. 757 area. I'll just say 757 area.
Newport News. Okay. Now I'm gonna throw a wrench in there because I know a Favor don't kill me because I know he hates when I do this. Because I know it's about Eventbrite. I heard your question. You're like, hey, could I use Eventbrite for putting these services on there? Like, oh, braiding special. I'm gonna say no. As someone who not only, researches marketing trends, but I also am a hair girly. I can't remember the last time I went on Eventbrite to look for someone to braid my hair. Anybody in the chat, any black women in the chat, please correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Nobody is going on Eventbrite to look that up. I'm sorry. Like, it's just the reality of the situation. However, I'm gonna go on mute in a sec and come back. I know for a fact, ranking on just organic Google search for niche services such as braiding, because I'm sure where you are, there's not like a ton of people who do braids. It is going to be super easy. I actually think you're in like the perfect little niche to do this and see some real results. So I'm gonna do like quick little, research analytics, and I'm gonna come back. But I'm gonna say no to Eventbrite. I wouldn't waste your time on there. Okay, sorry, Favor. Back to you.
No, they're fine. I'm an outlier. If I were the first, do you think that would matter? Like, oh, look, there's also a braider here. Let me check them out.
I think so. Okay, there's a two-part thing here. I don't know if, like, let's say you did create something on Eventbrite and someone searched on Google, because keep in mind, Google's still the largest search engine, right? They put in braiding services, Newport News, Virginia. I don't know if Eventbrite, if that would show up on Google. I don't have the analytics to prove or disprove that. What I do know is that it's niche enough to where if you just had a standalone website and you focus on those keywords, it most likely would rank because, like I said, you don't have a lot of competition. And the other thing is, within the Eventbrite platform, I'm pretty sure there's like close to zero people are searching for braiding, services. Now, let's say you did an event like learn how to braid your kids' hair 101, like maybe, because really Eventbrite, it's more of like a ticket selling platform. So I don't see how, that would correlate with your services. But if there's data to disprove, I would love to see. But I'm just saying, I don't think nobody on there looking for that. So I'm big on like focusing on where your people are. And if your people aren't on Eventbrite, girl, why waste your time? But that's just me. You could try it and prove me wrong. I would love to see.
Literally on Eventbrite now, typing in braiding and seeing who's on there.
Yes, tell us, please.
I'm just curious. Not that you're not right, because you probably are. You guys know better than me. But I do like the thought process of what you just said about doing like training and teaching people, etc., because that makes sense.
I'd like to
see what I find here. So I have So I searched braiding, and the first thing that came up was bird watching and bird houses. And then I see, yes, braiding classes. Yep. Braiding classes, everything hair, braids and boudoir, Father's Day braids. Yeah, so there are events around braiding and then braiding classes. So yeah, you're right about that. Nice.
This is what
I'm just saying, as someone who gets braids, I'm like, huh? But go ahead, Favour.
I want to just mention this. That's why I was very specific. I wasn't saying that you can get clients on Eventbrite for cosmetology services or braiding services explicitly. What I mentioned was that if you have product samples or you have brand partnerships and pop-ups, that's why I was very specific on the pop-ups or the meetups where you have these braids or you have these brands that you're connecting with, then you can use these brands extensively as an event to show up for. You can get surveys, you can connect with people, but it's not necessarily to get clients directly, but to create that community and to create that experience. And then on the services side, that's where the classes come in, because if you're going to be teaching people, if you have a space, then that's where you can invite people to come in and you can have a limited spot available. People do that for braiding, they do that for weaving, they do that for knitting, they do that for journaling, they do that for different things. So the idea of being on Eventbrite is not so that you get clients on Eventbrite, it's to create an experience as a vertical from the business, so that if that is going to be part of the things that you do for events, if it's a corporate social responsibility event, and that's what you're doing for communities, then that's where you can also bring in that factor, and then that's where your business can grow. So it's not from the standpoint of looking for Eventbrite and looking for clients on Eventbrite, because people are looking for tickets to go to. They're not looking for services to get inquiries from. So the idea is to create that system where the environment is friendly, but at the same time it opens up for those type of discussions if brand partnerships were to be involved. So I just want to make that clear, Celeste. But I love that you mentioned that.
And I like both of that. I'll also say, Celeste, in my area, nobody knows how to market properly. There are a lot of braiders. No one knows how to do the marketing. That's why I'm excited. I put up one post looking for models, and when I did that, I got over 12 people and no salon. So that's why I'm excited, because I have the marketing piece.
Child, listen, you're about to kill the game.
Yeah, so Rocky, you and I can chat offline about this if you like, because I don't. This is someone else's space, but you can also create and have a virtual experience for a salon. So instead of hosting people for your classes, if that's an angle you decide to pursue, you can have a fully branded virtual salon space with clickable links and stuff like that. So we should connect offline about that, because again, I want to be respectful. This is not my space, but yeah. But I also want to mention about some of my events. Celeste asked earlier, right? Like, what are my events? Some of my events are very randomly themed, and that is what I'm known for. Is I come up with these random themes and virtual experiences and virtual spaces, and people wouldn't necessarily type, for example, stepping into your villain era. People aren't going to type in, I want to be a villain, right, on Eventbrite or on Luma. However, the algorithm, right, does start identifying people who are more eclectic in taste and who are interested in randomly themed events. I've gone to events that are listening to understand how to understand and interpret bird songs. Am I a bird watcher? No, I am not. Did the topic intrigue me? Yes, it did. I also went to an event about mountain lions and what to do. I like to hike, and sometimes I go on solo hikes. And that is one of my biggest fears, is running into, as a not near 5'4" woman, running into a mountain lion by myself. So I went to what to do if you run into a mountain lion, on a trail. So there are people who are curious, and there are people who are going to want to go to random events. But the second thing I wanted to say about that, you have an audience, which is amazing. And sometimes these event platforms, it's not always about who's going to find you on that event platform. It's about having a platform to process the tickets, right, and all of the back end and tech stuff for you. And then making it easy for people to share out. It's a lot easier for people to send a link to a Luma or an Eventbrite, and say, hey, here, register for Rocky's upcoming event here, than it is for someone to go to a website page, then click here, then, sign up for this. It's just an easier flow, and it's easier to share, including on social platforms. So there's a lot of strategies. We should connect, but I'm passing the mic back over.
Yeah, I wanted to chime in really quick because I'm glad. Thank you, Aline, for bringing all those points up. It gave me time to do some research. Now, listen, y'all, I want y'all to know something about me. I don't just do a bunch of fluff and da-da-da. I do research. Data-driven decisions is the thing that I want to drive home here. All right, so Rocky, she's starting braids. Now, I am on somerush.com right now. I type in the keywords, braids, Newport News, Virginia, okay? I'm going to tell you, the first thing that shows up, okay, a related keyword. Write this down, Rocky. 90 people a month search for African hair braiding in Newport News, Virginia. Then we got braids in Newport News, Virginia. 70 people a month. Hair braiding, Newport News, Virginia. 50 people a month. Okay, you know what I'm talking. Not you as a braider, the style. They just want cheap and fast, honey. That's all that means for African hair braiding. Cheap and fast, okay? But
let me write this down. Hold on,
yeah, I'll send you a screenshot too. I'll do that. The moral of the story is what? 90 plus 70 is 160 plus 50. So that's over 200 people that are searching a month on Google, okay? I know everyone's like, oh, Eventbrite, oh, this. You have to remember, where are people actually looking for the thing that you're offering, okay? That's number one. Here's the biggest thing, and this is like very great news because I know, listen, I'm a Black woman. I know how niche of an industry this is. This is a gold mine for Rocky. The top ranking person on Google search is someone's Instagram page, okay? It is braid my hair _Brie, okay? She's the one that's ranking number one. And then here's the crazy thing to me. Number 3, do you know how you get a free website on like Squarespace or Wix so you don't have a custom domain? I very rarely see people who don't pay for websites rank like in the top 10 on Google, let alone the top 3. Hope's Hair Braiding .square.site is ranking number 3 on Google for this. And all of these keywords, it is in the easy range. So it's like 22 is the score for most of these, 25. So that means that it's very easy to just make a website, focus on the keywords, and rank. And then you are going to convert very easily. Keep in mind, people who are putting in these keywords, they're looking for services right now, okay? These aren't people who are looking for distant events in the future. They want their hair braided now. So, more of the story is, I think there are different marketing strategies for everyone, and I'm not saying like one will work and one won't. They'll all work, but what is going to be the one that's going to convert at the highest rate? That is the one that I would recommend everyone focus on. I'm not saying Eventbrite is like, oh, just not going to work. But is the effort, like, is the juice worth the squeeze is really the real question. And in my opinion, I'm going to say no. You can do all these things, but the likelihood it will convert to actual clients for a service-based business, in my opinion, is going to be low versus focusing on the strategy that I know works. How do I know that it works? Well, I have a service-based business. And last month, I made $23,000 through my service-based business. Well, the business made that much. I do pay my employees. And about 70% of our business comes from organic Google search. So just wanted to put that there. Listen, the data is what is driving the speech, okay? So go look up the data. Rocky, I'll send you a screenshot, but girl, you are like literally in a gold mine of an industry, okay? You're gonna kill the game. Okay, that's all. Landing my long plane.
And the girl on Instagram, I do know who that is. The only reason I think she's ranking is because of her Instagram title, the name page.
Yes. And remember, didn't I tell you that before when you had the marketing agency and you changed it? Do you remember that? It was a long time ago. Because that name, fun fact, your Instagram name is also your Google meta title. So that little blue thing that people click, that's your Instagram name. So put some keywords in there, y'all. It's a good strategy.
Prepare for Braids by Rocky. I'm going to have Braids by Rocky, lashes by... Great.
Oh, Celeste, you just brought something that I'm so excited you brought this in because it plays a role into everything we've talked about today with Eventbrite marketing. And if you guys have a pink ticket, because a lot of you do, thank you for being here. This is a business and marketing house. Rocky is the founder of this house. And if you're here listening for the first time, please make sure you cash in your ticket so you can be part of this business and marketing house before we close the room today so you don't miss out on any replays like this. And if you have any person that's listening or you're able to enjoy the conversation in the room, please make sure that you're able to tap on their profile and then hit on notification and turn it to always so you can connect with them as well. And you said something so important because I also went to SERP API and I see in Newport News, Virginia, there are 458,000 people actively. So when I did a search and I just typed in African hair braiding events, right? And I looked through and I saw, okay, there's an Eventbrite listing there and it says things to do and also has hair and beauty. So it now tells me that there is a search that people are using consistently to find these results. And if we're able to use them, connecting the dots, like Celeste said, bringing them to your website, making them into landing pages, into product pages, into service pages, into location pages. These pages are going to start turning into cash flow for you, like Celeste said. So when you start thinking about this long term and you start asking, what does Google see? What does the bot see? And if your website is part of that ecosystem and you have active services and active links, then those Eventbrite links are going to be strong for you. Those /Virginia /city-state, however you're going to put it, it's going to make more sense long term because now people are going to be searching with those words and they'll be able to now connect back with you too. So it changes everything. And actually, I wanted to mention this. If you guys want to try this out in live mode, try this out. I did this in 2020 and I'm actually thinking about doing this again. And I'm really serious about this. Before I even go further to what I was about to say, if you click on the notification settings, right? And on the top three dots, you see the three dots and you scroll down, you're going to see something that says allow web listening, right? Now, I did this back in 2020 and I was really impressed. And I was like, imagine what could happen now in 2026. You create an event on Clubhouse. You copy the link, create an Eventbrite link, and point people to Clubhouse when you go live so that people can be able to come in from Eventbrite. And if you're doing it locally, regionally, nationally, internationally, Clubhouse has 10 million active daily users. Now imagine Eventbrite has 50 monthly active users. So 50 million active monthly users. So just imagine you're compounding on the interest based on topics, keywords, based on titles, based on URLs, and bring that back into your website. When you go to your Google Search Console, you're going to see on the link section, it's going to say eventbrite.com. That means when you have eventbrite.com on your listing, it means that you have pages redirecting from your website to Eventbrite and also from Eventbrite to your website. So these are things that I don't want you to skip over. And I talk about them extensively, but Eventbrite has been a discussion today. And if you have a free event or paid events, make sure you look at your titles, make sure you look at your profile, make sure you look at your links, make sure you look at your tags, and make sure you look at your words, because words matter and discoverability is based on words. People are going to ask Siri with words. They're going to ask Google with words. And if you don't have the right words and you don't say the right words or have the right words in your database, then it'll be hard for you to actually match with those words that are being searched with. And that's why each keyword has a cost per click. So if you're really thinking about it long term, think about it that way. And that's what you can be able to do, make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month actively on your website based on organic research and actually feedback that you can actually build for your business. So thank you so much for sharing that as well, Celeste, with us.
Yeah, last, because I know we got new people on the stage. Rocky, NewportNewsBraids.com is available. I'm just saying.
Oh, go to name feed right now.
It's lit. I'm glad that we're doing it.
I had to suck y'all dry before I left. I'm sorry, that was very distasteful, but I just, thanks.
Yep, NewportNewsBraids.com.
It's lit. Rocky, we're gonna ask you about this next week or next month, but it's definitely something that would be big for you. And yeah, guys, try this out, check it out. You know, these are actionable tips you can take off and do as well. David, we'd love to hear from you before we go. Thank you for being here. Question, thoughts, comments, the floor is yours.
No, man, I just want to say thank you guys. Celebrate my 64th birthday, a OG in the room. Man, y'all just blessed me. For those who don't know, I'm the president of Pick TV Network. We're a streaming network on Roku. And just wanted to send some love out, man. So much hate and war and crazy stuff going on. I'm so proud of every one of you in this room, man. I hope you guys live a long, full life, man, and keep blessing people. At the end of the day, it's all about making the world a better place before you leave. So, yeah, Celeste, hit me up. Check out my network so we can talk about Pick TV. All right, love you guys. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you so much, David, and happy birthday. This was a good room, and I feel like we definitely did justice to this topic. Rocky, you know, you talked about this earlier on, and this is what you wanted us to talk about at some point. So we'd love to hear from you. How do you feel? Do you feel better? Do you feel like we need a part 2? Are we good? Talk to us.
We need a part 2 because, hold on, let me see, newprodewsbraids.com. I'm on a mission. Come back to me.
Rocky's about to get it quick. I love it. Yeah, it's
Yes, let's go, Rocky.
exactly. You know, words. If you guys really know what keywords, if
My baby said it, but now he's shy. Sorry, go ahead.
What about there's another one, newportnewsbeautysalon.com. I ain't gonna get that yet. I don't like that. But yes, I definitely run it back. And if you could, Favour, have the focus be on the actual event, how you can make sales with the event if you can. Because I think when I had my Mean Girl marketing stuff, it was cool. But that was the hardest part. Like, I guess we didn't do it early enough, so we couldn't, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't pushed out enough, and SEO didn't pick it up, so we did like a lot of the manual stuff as well. So if you could do that. I know he didn't hop on the phone. You on the phone, Favour?
yeah, I can hear you. I won't get on the
Okay.
phone, but I can hear you.
Yeah, so if we could do that, I think that would be great.
No, I was going to say, you know what I was thinking about, and this ties into you just asking about a part 2 and earlier. Oh my gosh. Say it, hurry up. Okay, cool. Yay. You start throwing a fit. But when we were talking about monetizing Clubhouse rooms, I know he's 3 now. It's crazy. But it would be so dope if we could figure out. I know there's another platform I won't name because it's the arch nemesis of Clubhouse. But if there was like a video component where like people could actually see visually what you were talking about when you're talking about Eventbrite and features and SEO, like even when we do SEMrush analysis, I think that would be a room worth paying for if there could
I
be
am
some
back over
video.
there, by the way. Wink, wink. So, and I do have sharing capabilities.
Ah, okay.
I love all the winks. We got to definitely do it. And I feel like we should do it in different ways too. I was actually doing a LinkedIn, and it's still going on, a LinkedIn poll. And I asked people like, what's the fastest way for them to learn? And you could answer the question too if you'd like to. And I was like, are you an auditory learner, visual learner, kinesthetic learner, or graphic learner? And I've gotten some really amazing results. And I know that a lot of people are visually learning and want to learn. So I'm like, okay, I can definitely bring it here, do rooms here, and also do it on the other platform. We can make that happen so that you can actually see it for yourself. But that would be something that if you're coming in, you have to also be ready to take action, because a lot of people will just look at it and stare and, you know, kumbaya, and we go home. Nah, we got to do this in a way that actually would make sense, and you actually want to see the results 6 months from now, 3 months from now, a year from now, so that we can actually do this properly. So yeah, Clubhouse is exciting, but when it gets shiny and object friendly, it can get really crazy or messy. So I want us to make sure we can use our time and do it in a really good way so that everybody understands it and we can do it in a timely manner as well. So I definitely bring a part 2 to this. Thank you. This was good. I think, yeah, part 2 is definitely exciting. Yes, Maria.
Hi, Favor. I just wanted to. You keep like kind of mentioning this monetization of Clubhouse, and I been in and out, so correct me if I'm like off the wrong path, but I really, and I'm not sure if this is just for you and your business or just everybody in general thinking about this, but when I think about you, Favor, and how you support people and how you're, it's like basically you could learn a lot just sitting here in the audience is what I guess I'm saying. And also you could have one person who you're focused on in the room over a week's period, let's say, that where you're intensively working together in the room where other people are, yeah, getting the tidbits, but that one person paid to have the intensive with you. This is something that I call the fountain, because basically instead of a funnel, and it's what you've heard me probably speak about the worth room, and I used to do this with storytelling, and basically so that entrepreneurs could showcase their work and practice pieces of a launch. But for you, I would say like you could practice pieces of the orientation process of your biggest package. You could pull something really niched out and deliver fully, so at the end of the week they walk away feeling like, okay, that's done. But ultimately, where other people, there's a lot of entrepreneurs or service providers are afraid to do work in front of people for whatever reason. But I want to just point out that is actually makes a lot of companies more money. Whether you think of an open kitchen concept, whether you think of a batting cage when you're walking by and you think that you can swing the bat and you end up paying money and you hurt yourself, or whether you're walking in the mall and you see somebody getting their shoulders rubbed, there's this concept of seeing somebody else getting that service done and you being able to have that instant gratification for it. So the person who listens all week long to Favour help Maria, I don't know, sort out the schema on her website, but you guys can't see me and Favour, our screens and what we're doing in the back end, but you can hear our conversation. The value that comes through that, and then also, I don't know if it's like, or I've just done this before, and I think it's so beautiful, and it can be really beautifully done here in Clubhouse with the right partnership and understanding that when you do your work in front of others with somebody who's like a dramatic demonstration, essentially, where somebody else is going to want to come up and be the next volunteer or paid volunteer. So I used to do paid speakers, and you or anybody else could use that fountain model, because basically people walk in, they see what's going on, they voluntarily are involved in engaging because they showed up to learn more, and then they toss a coin in if they want. That's why I call it the fountain. Passing my mic back.
I love that. Thank you, Maria. That is genius. And I love that you mentioned it that way, because this is what I do off Clubhouse. So the only extension is to bring it to Clubhouse, but the person would be in the room while we're actually on a call. So it's like rinse and repeat, but within a different dimension. So I love that, definitely, because we do this consistently and we crunch pages, and it's like, here are the results. We're sharing screens, I have recordings, and I'm like, okay, people got to see this because people got to know. But it starts off with those first calls that I usually have with them to make that happen or a reality. So I love that, Maria. Thank you.
You are so welcome. If you need any help with like aligning, like I would be so honored to help you do that with somebody, because it's truly powerful, and the momentum is, it's not something you can control. After somebody, you've done it with one person. I did it for 34 weeks straight with people. And so, especially when you're plugged into a network and people want your work anyway, it allows that taste of your work without having to go so deep, and you get to plug in and find more, make money while you're helping find more leads. Thanks, Favor. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you, Maria. I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that. This half of the year, I've looked at it differently, and I'm like, yeah, there are things I want to make sure that I can accomplish and handle and do to the point where it's very extensive. And I started with LinkedIn. So now I know Clubhouse was going to be next, but I was like, okay, how will I put it together? And I love how you're able to say this, because on LinkedIn, I'm going to be doing GIF illustrations and actually creating GIFs or GIFs, however you want to call it, GIF. And I'm going to be putting them as illustrations that people could just watch through without listening to me, but they're looking at my mouse move. And now I can do that on Clubhouse with, on the back end, like you said. so that people can actually see what's going on. And if they want that same experience, they would have to now get on a call. So like the link at the top would be a complimentary SEO call with me for 30 minutes strictly. And within those 30 minutes, we talk about everything. You actually get 35 minutes because I send you a 5-minute video auditing your website, telling you what's wrong with it, what's happening, what can we do. So when we get on the call, we're not wasting time. And time is of the essence, and I don't want to waste yours, and I don't want to be the reason why your time was wasted. So thank you so much for sharing that, and I'll definitely make that a reality. This was good. Eventbrite marketing strategies, free versus
Read the
paid
chat.
events. We've done it. Let me see the chat. With love. Wow, Rocky. That is dope. Okay, it's lit. It's definitely lit. So this room has definitely created a domain.
Yes, and I would like 0.01% of all future earnings. Thank you.
I got you.
We love this. Thank you, Celeste. Thank you, Eileen. Thank you, Rocky, for allowing us to be in this space in your house. Thank you, David, Maria. Appreciate you. I see you, Tamika, Luann, Judith, Kendra, Reggie, Jamichael, MS, Taliba, Kimberly. I'm coming to your question. Jasmine, Fiona, Lady Hustler. Thank you for being here. It's been a while. Brock, I see you as well. Mr. Sason, I hope I said it correctly. Digiverse, David, Brian, Mary, Sean, Vinny, I see you as well. Bella Art, Mohammed, Praying, I see you as well. No One, Rose, Annan, you two, Stacks, Raw, Jemima, and I also see you, Dash. Thank you all for being here. You guys are amazing. If you'd like to get on a call with me, click the link above. If you are serious, get on a call with me. Let's talk about this. Let's make it happen. See it visually for yourself, make that impact. If you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, I'm connected with over 20,000 connections, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you things that I share with them. If you want to see those things live, if you want to listen to this, please make sure you click on the links before this room closes, or you can be able to now connect with me offline so we can get to talk about this off Clubhouse. So with that said, God bless you all. Have a wonderful day. If you like tacos, happy Taco Tuesday, and I'm going to see you guys in the next room. Take care, y'all. Bye for now. Welcome to season 13, where you listen, you live, you learn, and you earn. A lot of information is always given on this show. So we're in the 13th season. God has brought us so far, and I just want to thank God for the opportunity to connect with you today on such quiet, calm space like this. So thank you for listening. Know that Jesus loves you, and know that you can always connect with me on the We Don't Play podcast show. More specifically, go to wedon'tplaypodcast.com, or you can go to playinc.online. That is PLAYINC.online, and get in touch with me. Let's get on a call. Let's talk. Let's focus on SEO for 2026 and beyond. So until we meet in the next episode, God bless you. Jesus loves you. Stay hydrated, stay safe, and stay blessed, and stay tuned. Bye for now.